Hey Stitch, welcome back. Did you miss me and my eyebrows? If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nisha. I do an art all the time and I art on my face. Today I am hopping on a trend, as the kids call it these days, as my lovely little Gen Zers, IMAXing. And this video is a little special because this video, and I feel like I can talk about this, is IMAXing when you have ambiguously colored eyes. Editing Nisha is gonna put a close-up of one of my eyes right up here because I found out that depending on your background, you're gonna look at my face and you're either gonna see brown eyes, hazel eyes, or amber gold eyes. Depending. I get mixed opinions on this. It just really depends. And I know I'm not the only person like this. I assumed I had brown eyes my whole life, and somewhere in adulthood I started noticing, I couldn't tell if I had started losing melanin in my irises as I got older. But then again, sometimes I have this memory of being 8 years old in the library, and we were learning to type, so we were filling out a worksheet describing ourselves, and when it came to eye color, I just automatically put brown, and the librarian and her assistant happened by me and they said, "No, you have hazel eyes," which was bizarre to me because I don't know I was 8 years old. I didn't know what the hell hazel meant. But I just shrugged and went, okay, whatever, and put it down, and I thought maybe that's some other word for brown. But I think maybe they were always kind of ambiguously colored since I was a kid, and I just never noticed, and I was in a community who just went, yep, you've got brown eyes. I know I'm not the only person like this. This is a very mixed kid experience of me, somebody of mixed culture and mixed ancestry. I notice sometimes people just kind of file me into a category by default, or they don't know what to do with me. But I have some friends, like one of my good friend Tatiana. She was like, my community is used to light colored brown eyes, and we just know. I knew automatically looking at you. How do you IMAX when you've got ambiguously colored eyes? I am in the amber hazel category. Amber is a little different from hazel. It's not quite brown. It happens when you have the green eye, red hair gene, and it didn't quite come through in your phenotype. The iris structure kind of forms itself in such a way that it almost, if you had not very much melanin in your iris, they would be either hazel or green, but you have just enough melanin so it falls into kind of an amber gold yellow turmeric area. And hazel eyes are very similar. So what happens is they kind of appear brown, but they function like green eyes. They are very, very light sensitive, but I do not have night vision like other green-eyed and blue-eyed people. So that, and it becomes a tricky question. How do you IMAX when you don't quite fall into one category or the other? And the answer is very, very fun. You can do a lot of things with it because they don't have a lack of enough melanin to be green, but that green-eyed structure is in there somewhere. If you throw red on it, and sometimes depending on the spectrum of purple, they will pull more green. And also, because they're kind of like near that gold amber category, you throw purple on it, depending on what shade of purple it is, they can pull a little more gold. It'll pull the yellow and gold out a little more. Yellow, they're going to pull more brown. Blue, they're going to pull more brown. Unless it's a kind of more of an aqua blue, then it'll pull more hazel. Orange, that one's tricky. Orange, I feel like it tends to pull more brown. If you have blue eyes, orange makes them, or gray eyes, orange makes them pull more blue. With brown eyes, they just kind of tend to pull a deeper shade of brown. Although there are certain oranges that lean a bit more yellow or red, or I think more red toned oranges tend to make them pull a little more greenish yellow. Today, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, these irises pulling a little more toward green. I'm going to use an Extinct palette that I've been meaning to pull out for a while. It is the Courtship palette by Menagerie. It was limited edition. And I'm going to go in with this trio right here with my trusty outer crease brush. We're going to go into the deepest dark red shade. And we're just going to do a monochromatic red. Go in with this brush that I keep pulling and not using. And we're going to go into that transition shade and transition. Sometimes I get frustrated with how the pigment is sticking, and I just like press it on there with my finger. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to get right up in here. Because red is the contrasting color and it's completely opposite on the color wheel to green, it's pulling more focus on the parts of my iris that have less melanin and bringing them from that gold to closer to green. In my opinion, your perspective might be different from mine, but in my opinion, this kind of forces my eyes more green. Or at least a hazel. I still have that melanin ring around my eyes, which I love. And now going in with some of my NYX glitter primer. I'm going to be ordering an eyeshadow collection from Divina Cosmetics this weekend. I'm ordering the pan puller too, and I wanted to also order their glitter primer because I've heard that it's got more grab to it than the NYX one, but I had to kind of tone it down on the spending. Like, it wasn't a whole lot. But I had to cut myself off at some point, and I thought, let's just finish what I have. And if I have a particularly affluent week, I'll go back in for Divina's primer. So anyway, I'm going to take this shifty red, and it does shift into like kind of a goldish bronze with that densely packed packing brush. And I think we have a very easy monochromatic fall look, but also This goes hard on green eyes, hazel eyes, and amber eyes. That is one way to IMAX when you have an ambiguously colored iris. Okay, so did the other eye. I threw on a frosty white eyeshadow on the inner corners, and I totally know I'm gonna get some "is the green and amber in the room with us" comments. Probably not, because I'm a micro content creator, but it's very like, you're gonna see what you want to see. You're just gonna see what you're gonna see. But when I use red spectrum eyeshadow, I see more green and amber. And that is one of the reasons I love wearing blue eyeshadow and purple eyeshadow, because of the depth and melanin it kind of creates with my eyes. But I think Editing Nisha should post some example photos here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about with, and let me know in the comments if you see what I see, and if you can see what I'm talking about. Let me know if you have ambiguously colored eyes. If you've got blue eyes and you watch me, let me know. If you've tried making them look more blue by throwing orange or warm-toned browns on them, and how that worked out. Sorry, my boyfriend called and I had to handle a couple things, so I just finished the whole look off camera. Nothing really special for blush. I just did like a warm-toned mauve, and my go-to neutral, it's Milani Color Fetish lipstick in Passion. If you have brown eyes, like actually brown eyes, you're very lucky. They function like gray eyes, but they have more depth in as far as eyeshadow colors go. If you've got brown eyes, no, there's nothing you can put on that will make your eyes not pop. Like literally nothing. They're very neutral in the same way that gray eyes are. People with gray eyes, they put anything on their eyelid and use anything for blush, and their eyes look beautiful and icy and amazing. When you have, obviously you can wear whatever you want. Whether you've got blue eyes, green eyes, yellow eyes. Yes, I have seen bright yellow eyes before. But you're not limited. It's just, if you're gonna do color theory on your eyes, makeup-wise, there are some things that are gonna make them pull one direction over the other. I know the biggest contradiction I've ever seen as somebody putting makeup on other people and somebody giving other people advice is people with blue eyes or green eyes asking me to put blue eyeshadow on them or green eyeshadow on them to make their eyes stand out, when really it makes their eyes go gray because it's the same color. Something I love on green eyes is yellow or gold. Purple all day long on green eyes. Blue eyes, warm-toned eyeshadows look really good. If you've got the kind of skin and you've got blue eyes where warm tone doesn't quite work for you, purple or pink looks really good, kind of fuchsia toned. At the end of the day, physical flattery, like when flattery in fashion just means when the thing that you are wearing makes you look skinnier than you really are. And flattery with makeup just means that you look younger than you really are. And what's the point? I wear things that don't flatter me all the time just because I like it. Camel yellow looks terrible on me. It makes my skin look washed out. It gives me kind of a not alive look in not a cute way, and I wear it anyway. But you're gonna do what you want to do. You're gonna see what you expect to see. But if you've got ambiguously colored
eyebrows,
I made my eyebrows. If you've got ambiguously colored eyes like me, they function a little in a chameleon way than brown eyes tend to. They still have that brown eye neutrality, but they've got that yellow-green wild card to it. So I highly encourage you to experiment with that. I highly encourage you to experiment with color no matter what your iris looks like. Like I said in my other videos, this is a wonderful time. This is a wonderful couple of decades to be a makeup lover and to be attracted to chroma. It's an amazing time. Formulas are super pigmented, rich, and blendable now. We've got formulations to help things stick longer. It's an amazing time. I highly encourage you to experiment with color, how different colors pull on your irises. And at the end of the day, it is makeup. You can just take it off before you take a shower. Actually, that's the best time to experiment. Kind of Spooky Mama, I think is what she goes by, Brittany on TikTok, and I think she's on YouTube too. She calls it shower makeup. You put it on right before you take a shower, because if it doesn't look good, you were gonna go wash it off anyway. All right, I love you stitches so hard. If you enjoyed this content, give me a like. Talk to me in the comments. I think this could be a really fun discussion. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you can find out when I post. It's been kind of a slow week for me. We've had some things going on, but I hope to get back on track. And share if you are so inclined. Oh, if you follow me on TikTok, I've got something coming up on Sunday. I'm planning to do a live chat with my bestie, and she's really, really freaking cool. And I hope to see you there. Love you so hard. Bye.